If you've been thinking about starting a print-on-demand Etsy store, watch this first because I'm about to share the real results, the pros, the cons, and whether it's actually worth your time. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Keys and I've been selling on Etsy for a while, mainly with digital products, but I wanted to see if print-on-demand could be a great passive income stream. So I set up a brand new store and I wanted to see what would happen over the first few months. So I will be showing you results from October 2024 to December 2024, and make sure to watch until the end where I share a pretty cool thing that happened to my store in January. So how much in sales did my new Etsy store make? $2,863. And these sales were all from Etsy, no social media. Keeping in mind that this figure is not all profit, for with print on demand, you have to take out all the costs involved in making and fulfilling your products. Every print-on-demand company charges different amounts. I use Printify and I sell print-on-demand products within the tech accessory niche. So this niche includes AirPod cases, mouse pads, phone cases, headphones, and phone clips. The interesting part about all of this is when I first opened this store, I set out to sell t-shirts and I was getting views for my product, which is a good sign that my SEO was working. However, something just felt off, like I was meant to be selling something else. So I asked God to lead me to a profitable niche, and yeah, it was tech accessories. How much effort was required? When I first opened this new shop, I set my goal to publish at least 20 listings per week. And I know that sounds a lot, and that didn't end up happening. It was more like around 10 listings a week for about 2 months. The thing with print on demand is it's so much quicker to publish listings because all you're doing is just designing an image. As with digital product, there's a lot more involved with the product creation. Print on demand, you are designing an image, then you're putting it onto some mock-ups which show the product, and then you're pretty much using the same listing, title tags, and descriptions. You're just duplicating everything, adding in minor changes. So it can be a very fast process. Now, I got my first sale the first week after pivoting niches, and I only had 15 items in my store at the time. The process, what I did, and lessons learned. Now, I was surprised to find out that it's no longer free to open an Etsy shop. I was charged $15 US. So you may have to now pay to open an Etsy store for a one-time fee of $15. And I don't know how Etsy chooses who pays or who doesn't. Integrating Printify to your Etsy store was pretty simple and straightforward. Something you must know is that you will need to have money up front when you start out, and here's why. So Etsy put a reserve on my account for about 90 days, meaning any sales that I made, they held onto those funds until they made sure that I was a reliable, legit seller. Apparently this is because I was a new shop and had a spike in sales that looked suspicious. So that meant I was not able to use those funds to pay for any other orders that I received. So how it works is you get an order from your Etsy store, then Printify automatically takes out the cost to make the product and ship to your customers. So you have to have a credit card on file for Printify or set up PayPal payments, which is what I use. So I had to keep putting money in from my savings to cover those costs. So just make sure that you have extra money available to cover this until they take the reserve off your account. And guys, if you are getting value from this video, hit that like button and subscribe. I did experiment with ads. So as you can see here, I spent $120 over those 3 months, which I do believe helped out. All it takes is just one person to buy a product, then Etsy starts organically showing it higher in ranking. Well, that was my experience anyway. So once someone purchased from an ad, that listing started to take off without ads. So running ads showed me what buyers were actually interested in. So ads aren't just, about getting sales straight away. They can be very helpful in your market research. I ran ads on a few different styles in my shop to see which ones got the most clicks and saves. And the ones that got the most engagement, I went and designed more of those. What design software did I use for my designs and listing images? I made bulk of my designs in Canva, and you will need the pro version so that you can download your images in 300 dpi. I made a few designs in Kittl, also the paid version, so you can download images in high resolution. I purchased some digital papers from Etsy that came with a license for me to use, and then I added them into my Canva designs. and I use the mock-up images that Printify provides. So these mock-up images show what your design will look like on the physical product. Now, a really cool thing happened in January. I did not publish any new products to my store. I didn't do ads. I pretty much didn't touch my store, and these are the results, which I thought was great because it showed me how a business model like print on demand could really be passive. Now, at this stage in January, I had 100 products in my store, so nothing crazy like what you see other people saying, like you have to have hundreds of products before you make sales. So my profit out of all this month for January was about between $200 to $300. I'm not exactly sure how much, because I have to factor in the currency exchange rate, because on Printify, I get charged in US dollars, but my Etsy store is in Australian dollars, so it's never really accurate. Still to this day, February 2025, I haven't published any new listings or paid for ads, and I'm still receiving sales. In all honesty, this shop has not been a priority in my life right now. I can see if I put more time and energy into the store, there would obviously be more sales. I'm just surprised to still be making sales, even though I haven't touched my store in almost 2 months. Okay, let's talk about the pros and cons of print on demand on Etsy. The pros. There's no upfront inventory costs, so you only pay when you receive an order. You no longer have to spend tens of thousands of dollars buying inventory that may not even sell. So I used to have a physical product business, and this is truly a game changer. Passive income potential, as I've showed you with my results, put in the hard work up front and then you will eventually see the fruits of your labor. You will need to spend time at the beginning building up your shop. There's a huge variety of products that you can sell, and I do believe that there are still many untapped niches on Etsy for print on demand. I'm always coming across stuff when I'm doing my own research. Easy integration with print providers. So in just a few clicks, your Etsy store is integrated with a print on demand provider, and it is a pretty seamless process. You can learn the foundation of running a print on demand store on a beginner-friendly platform like Etsy before going out on your own website. I personally think that starting this type of business model on Etsy is a great way to learn the basics of print on demand. You want to understand how it all works and have experience with it before having your own website and putting thousands of dollars into paid ads. Etsy is a great place to learn the foundation, the ins and outs. Let's move on to the cons. Profit margins can be thin. So coming from a background of selling digital products on Etsy and then getting to keep pretty much all of the profit was challenging for me at first. I recommend keeping your profit margins for print on demand between 30 to 40% so that it is worth your time. I had to increase the price of my products, which I was afraid to do because I thought it would hurt my sales, but it didn't. People still, are buying at the higher price. Competition is high on Etsy, so this is why you have to research and find products that have high demand with low competition. I spent a full day researching and taking notes because you have to find like those micro niches. You can find high demand, low competition print on demand products by using Etsy SEO keyword research tools such as Everbee, Sales Samurai, Insight Factory, and eRank. Shipping times can be slow, which affects customer satisfaction, so this is out of your control. I had to stop shipping to Europe because it was eating into my profits. I was actually losing money selling to Europe because of the VAT. If you're in the US, you don't have to worry because you can claim back that VAT through tax authorities, but in Australia, you can't. So I'm just glad that I stopped shipping there, because the shipping was also just terrible, to be honest, in Europe. It was only in the European countries that my orders would get lost. So my orders were getting lost in the mail, and that, it was just eating into my profits. So I just cut all ties with Europe, and now I only sell to United States and Australia. I do have Asia on my shipping list, but no one has purchased from there yet. You don't control the quality. So the print providers are making the products and shipping them out for you to your customers. So I had a few orders where the prints were really blurry and all messed up, and I was actually surprised that they even got sent out like that. But in circumstances like that, Printify are really good, and they will send out a free reprint to your customer at no extra charge. Christmas season, don't expect much from customer service, okay? Prior to December, any support I needed was answered within a few hours, but the lead up to Christmas was very hard to get support, okay? There were times when I had to wait over 1 week for a response in trying to find these lost orders. Now, Printify finally did get back to me and they gave me a credit in my account to apologize for having to wait so long. They were just like next level busy. Having said all of this, would I recommend starting a print-on-demand store on Etsy? I'm going to say yes. Even though orders can get lost in the mail or there can be printing issues, these are very minute and small compared to the bigger picture of this type of business model, right? Don't focus on the negative, focus on the opportunity. The opportunity here is profitable. You've just got to find those high demand, low competition products by using Etsy SEO keyword research tools, which I mentioned earlier. The one that I use is called Sales Samurai. That's how I found my niche. Let me know your experience in the comments below. Have you tried print on demand on Etsy? I also teach on how to sell digital products on Etsy. So if that's something you're interested in, subscribe to my channel and you can check out this playlist.